Good day, Stardust. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Stephanie and I have a passion for divination. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to consecrate a black mirror. I'm going to go through my process and a couple of tips and tricks on how to make your black mirror a sacred object for scrying and divination. But before we dive into this video, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers so I can be part of the YouTube partnership program, and your help would be ever so greatly appreciated. To consecrate an object is to make it sacred through some form of rite, ritual, blessing, prayer, ceremony. I can't stress enough how important it is to consecrate your black mirror because you're using it for a spiritual purpose. Usually it's to induce visions, some kind of spiritual work. Perhaps you're trying to do some divination and scrying. So you want to make sure that your black mirror is attuned to those types of intentions and vibrations. And when you consecrate an object, you are bonding with it, you are binding it, you are blessing it, and you are pretty much infusing it with the actual magical or spiritual or vibrational intentions of your will and goals. So when we consecrate objects, it's always important to do so with respect, with TLC, tender love and care, and to really honor the object and the sacred space that you're doing the work in. It's just very good spiritual hygiene and ethical practices for spiritual work. So we're going to talk a little bit more about how we consecrate objects in general. Depending on your spiritual belief system, you can perform some kind of ceremony. So usually you open a circle, cast a circle, and then place the object in the middle of the circle, or if you prefer, on some kind of altar. And then you perform your ceremony through either chanting, prayers, invocation, mantras, whatever you are called towards your belief system. You can anoint and attune the black mirror according to whatever set fate that you want. And then you would anoint it and bless it, and then cover it up, and then close the circle and close the black mirror, and then put it in a dark and dry place. That's the most common way of consecrating a magical object. But there are other less formal ways. If you're not into doing a ceremony or a rite, or following the cycles of the full moon and the new moon, you can do it however which way you would like, but just keep a few things in mind. When you're consecrating, the actual thing of consecration is the conduit, which is yourself attuning the object for said purpose. And the said purpose in this instance is for scrying and divination. So you have to infuse it with your energy, so you can just lay your hands on it. You can anoint it with oils. You can pass it through sage or incense. Basically all of the cleansing methods that I mentioned in my previous video, you can also use for consecration. However, when you consecrate, try to make it elevated, a little bit more holy, and a little bit more catered to your personality. If you're really into, for example, shamanism, then have those types of shamanic tools and objects around it and infuse it with that. aura of that said tradition. But if you are of no tradition and you just are interested in clairvoyancy and visions and divination in general, then you can just use something as simple as just anointing it with water, blessing with water, even if you don't have a particular faith, but just a regular cleansing with water will be very good for consecration for this sacred object. But you really have to pick something. If it's not something you're putting on the mirror, then it's something that you have to say to the mirror, or to have your hands on the mirror with some kind of will and intent. So you have to say something. You can say a few words of declaration, intention, affirmation, prayer, invocation, whatever, whatever method you want. But you do have to announce to the object that you are now the sacred object. This is my will and intention, and so be it. That's basically how to do a consecration ceremony in a nutshell. I wanted to share with you the secret ingredient that I use to consecrate. Now, I only use this to consecrate my spiritual tools, as well as for very special types of divination and deep ceremonial work with the divine. I don't use this particular fragrance often, because in my belief system, I'm using it as a purification, cleansing, high vibration. And again, this particular cologne is consecrated in itself. It's only used for extreme blessings. It's almost as sacred to me as holy water. So this is what I use. Florida water. Just show you here. So Florida water has a very long and historical tradition in the African and Brazilian and Cubans religious and cultural faiths. Florida water is known for its cleansing, purification, and blessing properties. It has some tones of citrus and lavender and spices, and it has a beautiful scent and aroma, and it's designated as a cologne. And I absolutely love this fragrance and water. It's something that is instilled in my belief system, and I only use it for very special occasions and for blessings. So the way that I used Florida water is because I wanted to ensure that my beautiful black mirror was consecrated against negative entities, and to really be a staple of high vibration and almost like a guardian, like to guard its gate, because I believe that black mirrors are portals to other dimensions, and you have to treat black mirrors very respectfully. And when you're going into trance or meditation or inducing visions, you are traveling to what lies beyond the veil, to multidimensional planes of existence, and you have to protect yourself. So Florida water is very well known as a fragrance that can dispel negative entities, that can bring about more higher vibrations and act as a shield and protection. So I have a belief system in regards to Florida water for that. So not only will I anoint my black mirror, but I will anoint myself with a few drops of Florida water before I go into meditation and trance and go into my scrying and divination work. So I wanted to just mention the beautiful properties of Florida water. I know most people in the spiritual community know what it is, but not everybody does. And it's just a beautiful alternative. It's beautiful fragrance and cologne. You can also use it to cleanse your aura and for a little bit of aromatherapy. But I absolutely love it. You just have to be careful with Florida water. Don't mix Florida water with an open flame because it is flammable. So just keep that in mind. Don't put Florida water and sprinkle it on an open flame. That would be bad. But to anoint it on a black mirror is absolutely fine. So what I did is I waited till it was the full moon, and I went into a protection circle, and I anointed my black mirror, and I gave it her name and her intention and purpose. And then I did an attunement, which means blending my energies with the black mirror so we can have a connection, so we can so the object can understand my energy and I can understand its energy, and we can have a mutual agreement to help each other do our spiritual work. And then I anointed the black mirror with some Florida water, and I also passed it through some sage incense. That was my consecration ritual. Sage incense and Florida water, and then I did have a white candle on the side, and then I allowed the night sky to look down at the black mirror so it can bring down the full moon's energy. You don't have to actually have the full moon look at it. If there's an overcast, it's fine. But you want to just allow the black mirror to see the night sky and have the energies of the full moon, and then you can fully energize and consecrate that object and making it sacred and holy and beautifully sacred and high vibration for your work. So that was my my method for consecrating my black mirror. Lady of the full moon, you who sees all things and knows all knowledge, I consecrate this silver frame, black mirror, with your glowing rays, that it may illuminate my works of divination, ignite my third sight, and bring blessings into my life. I anoint this silver frame with Florida water and ask the divine to make this black mirror a portal of wondrous insights for spiritual work. Make this black mirror holy, make it good and right, truthful in this life. Salutations, thanks, and grace. As I will it, so be it. There is a metaphysical principle that thoughts creates reality, and that your thoughts are part of your consciousness and a larger consciousness mind, universal mind. Therefore, your will and intent through your thoughts can create, change, and put into being certain actions and intentions. Therefore, always be careful of your thoughts and try to use disciplines to control negative, fearful, or doubtful thoughts so you can alchemize yourself and become master of your mind. And once you're master of your mind, you can really transcend a lot of the energetic layers in this holographic matrix. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is that when we do a consecration for a black mirror, it's us that's making it holy through our will and intent. We are imagining the energies, we are alchemizing, we are the alchemist, we are the metaphysician that is creating the energetic signature of the black mirror and its potentiality. And it all comes from our divine right, our co-creator soul self, and the actual manifestation of this is through thoughts. So I just wanted to mention that to aspire to purify and to elevate your thought levels so you can really pierce those other realms of dimensions and potentialities, so you can really go much more far beyond in your spiritual work. On that note, I would encourage everyone to practice ethical and spiritual hygiene when using a black mirror or any type of magical or spiritual endeavor that you might embark on. What I mean by ethical, I mean try to understand universal laws and be very mindful of what you are getting into, and respect the energies that you are diving into. And by doing so, for protection, when you practice spiritual hygiene by cleansing yourself, protecting yourself, and elevating your vibration, you're protecting yourself from having negative experiences. And it's pretty much a shield of protection, and you can have more an easier time with different types of divination work if you follow these types of practices than if you are perhaps lazy or your mood is at a lower level. You tend to run the risk of encountering a mirror effect, like attracting like, if you are of a lower vibration. But it's with time and practice that we improve. And if you are embarking in scrying and divination with black mirrors, just treat the process with respect and patience, and try to think of it as like a playful experience. Try to keep yourself very calm and playful and intrigued and curiosity, and then your visions and or your voyage will be much more magical and beautiful and spiritual in nature. So try to keep a light heart, but at the same time be cautious of what you're doing. I wanted to share with you just a little thing that I say when I start working with my black mirror. This is just kind of like a prayer or a chant that you can say just before you start. Mirror of moonlight, mirror of glass, allow me to see whatever shall pass. Sweep clear the veil that lies before me. Allow the visions to appear before me. Oracle of lunar light, I open now the gate of sight. This is my will, with gratitude and love. Allow divinity now to pass through me from above. The door is open now. As I will it, so be it. And now this is what I say when I close the mirror. So the previous prayer or chant was when I open to go into my divination, and then this is what I say to kind of close the divination, to kind of put things to an end. Oh, black mirror, I'm closing the door now. The door is closing now. The door is closed now. Merry met and merry part and merry meet again. Salutations, thanks and grace. It has ended, and this meeting is done. So mote it be. After the closing, you want to make sure that you have your cover for your black mirror, and you cover it because we want to close the gate and we want to close any portals or any openings. And then you want to put your beautiful black mirror in a dry, dark, safe place away from other people to touch it or move it around. You want to keep it in a peaceful place. And yeah, so that basically concludes how I do my consecration for my black mirror. Please leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts. Do you like working with black mirrors? Are you thinking of using a black mirror for divination and scrying? Please let me know your thoughts, your feelings, your excitement or your fears. I would really love to start a dialogue, so please let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much, dear Stardust, for joining me today. I want to wish you all a most excellent day or night, wherever you are in this big world. And remember, everything that you're searching for is already found within. Until next time, planet people.